break is over. Damn straight. Oh, sorry about that. Okay, break is finally done. We do have we do have Kiwi Fair and Full House Gaming back in the Champ Select. Thank God. Let's get this going. Game number 2 of the best of 5. One game already going to Full House Gaming. So they are up 1, 2 more wins and they take away this series, picking themselves up a couple of laminated special sheets that I made. Now, a couple of laminated special sheets from Company of Gamers saying they were first in the Grinders division of 2013. It's been a long series throughout the year. We've had Monday points rounds throughout the entire year. We've had Monday points rounds throughout the entire year. We've had one online tournament to cap it all up, and now we're heading on to those grand finals. It's going to be interesting to see. Blitz first ban out. We didn't actually see a Blitz ban coming in to the first game, I believe. We may actually have seen that first ban from FHG. I could be wrong, but there was that Thresh, there was that Vayne last time. I'm thinking, oh no, Kiwi Fair are sticking with that Vayne ban. Are they going to go with the Malphite? Are they going to go with the Sonar? Are they going to go with the Jarvan? I would suspect they're going to go with the Jarvan, but maybe they'll keep it very basic. Tristana again banned out from FHG, focusing on those ranged champs. Are they going to be the ones to pick up a Kate? To be honest, you know, nothing went wrong with Twitch for FHG in that first game. He didn't really get a lot of chances to do much because their lanes were so well thought, so well planned out that he just, you know, there wasn't much for him to follow up with. But he did get a lot of AoE damage, at least in that last fight. That was quite fun. It certainly was. It is that Malphite ban from Kiwi Fair. Following up with a Zac from FHG. They did not like that initial Zac play from Kiwi Fair. We thought that FHG would be picking out the Zac, but they may still be loving that Jarvan. So I would imagine that first out from Matt came again, because he was doing so well, and he may mix it up if they're going for a team strat, because they don't have that Malphite anymore for the ultimate combos. Jax going down surprisingly from Kiwi Fair, knowing that they've banned out the Malphite, having a think to see that FHG's top lane was going for the Jax. And of course it's Matt trolling everyone out, thinking he's going to pick up a Teemo. Just maybe, guys. Or maybe he's going to spite me by actually doing it, but I'd love to see it. I'm thinking he is gonna lock on in that J4. Dragging out that champ pick phase just to have fun with the Teemo. Ooh, and actually switching over to the Rengar. Am surprised how Kiwi Fair are going to play this. We've seen how FHG love that team fight. And if he does lock in as that Jarvan like he did before, we can expect a lot of ganks. Maybe a bit more warning coming out from Kiwi Fair to deal with the Jarvan. Because I got to say, Matt is great at using terrain with Jarvan at the moment. Absolutely phenomenal. He just clutch locked in on the Morgana, which is interesting. There's that insta-lock on Ezo with Jarvan, now denying it completely. He was just like, yeah, I'm taking that. That's done. Good game. Everybody run. But a good pick out from Ezo, denying that Jarvan now that the Morgana came out from Full House. We do a Thresh coming in from Kiwi as well, seeing it wasn't banned out at all. There were a lot of first picks lying on FHG's doorstep, but a good pick out with Jarvan and Thresh. It looks like there's a lot of good picks coming out from Kiwi Fair. Morgana being followed up by the Teemo and the Singed, which I don't think are going to be lock-ins. We've got to wait and see with these guys. It's all up to a whole series of things. But knowing that Kiwi Fair picked up that Thresh and that Jarvan, their ADC might be focused on Caitlyn again. They've got a good amount of follow-up with Caitlyn on Thresh. Maybe they're going to be funny and pick Lucian. Just maybe. I'm hopeful. Ooh, don't you just love it when people drag this out? Oh, when he switches over to the LeBlanc. Just in time last night, thinking of picking up the LeBlanc mid lane. Changing again just to have fun with me. It is going to be the Leona bot lane. So they are going to get very aggressive up against this Thresh. They're not going to give him a chance to grab anyone out whatsoever. Following up a death sentence with nothing but a Zenith Blade. What more could you want? Zeke does lock in the Draven. I was saying before, you know, Draven play has come up since the OCE came in. OCE client came into play down here in Australia, New Zealand, and the Oceanic region. So very interesting to see if that Draven pick is going to work out for him. This does leave FHG open for a Caitlyn, although Kenyan Jumper may be doing something different with that Teemo. He may be going in the AD lane. Wolf thinking of picking up a very nice aggressive Renekton. In the top lane he does get well aggressive, but that really only lasts a couple of levels before the enemy can retaliate through items. So we'll see if it does work out. A Misfortune may be coming into play. Not sure how I missed that, in fact. We do know FHG are very teamfight oriented, and they've gone for the Morgana. They've gone for the Morgana, I was going to say Diana. They're sisters, come on! The Morgana, the Leona, and the Misfortune. So they have gone for that series of jump in teamfight ultimates again, despite Kiwi Fair's best efforts to ban out that Malphite and deny that combination. It's going to be a lot of fun seeing if they can pull this one off, because they've got a good amount of follow-up with Teemo. Just in general, supporting throughout the game with his shrooms, and they may be looking to get a Wukong Cyclone in there. They certainly are. It is going to be another massive teamfight ultimate combo from FHG. But this time, will they take away the lanes? Against a Thresh in the bot lane and coming up with a jungle Jarvan, they might struggle a bit more than they did last time in the lanes. They did very well last time. Very well indeed. But now they have the ability, again, to follow up with anything that happens. So even if they have a bit of trouble in the lanes. The last pick out from Millenart going to be deciding the mid lane up against Kenyan. Picks himself up an Orianna. Very well picked indeed. Orianna not relying that much on autos or anything like that, like most mid laners, you know, to be fair. But being able to jump over that initial minion wave without having to scout around the sides to get off a bit of poke is definitely an advantage against Teemo. If he places shrooms around the outside of the lane, which he tends to do at 6, post 6, purely because minions step on them and he doesn't. He wants that side, he wants that coverage. Then Orianna still can hit over that minion line, doesn't have to deal with roaming around the lane that much and getting damage from shrooms. So a very, very good pick out. We'll see if Matt KM resides still in the jungle with Jungle Morgana. Is that really going to happen? We can just wait and see. Apparently the lock-ins are happening now, and I get to show you guys the summoners coming up. There it goes. Here are the summoners, guys. That's actually a different thing. So is that. And that's something else as well. Wait a minute. Here we go. There's the summoners. Mr. Summoners. Anyway, it is going to be that jungle Morgana. So that's a little bit of fun. We'll see how it comes out. Just maybe. So professional. So incredibly professional. Come on. I haven't done this for so long, guys. I am very sorry. But yes, it is going to be a jungle Morgana. I'm excited about that. It's gone with KWF. They've gone for a very efficient, a very power-hungry teamfight combo that works well in both the laning phase and late game. But against the full teamfight combo from FHG, things can still go wrong, and if Morgana gets a Dark Binding from the shadows, I've never seen a Morgana jungle. I don't know if those ganks are strong. I mean, they could be. If anyone's hit by these things, you know, they tend not to be alive for very long. But yeah, Dark Binding into a Dark Soil, or into a Soil of any other kind, will be dealing quite a lot of damage from the shadows if Morgana manages to get them off in the bot lane. That gives a lot of segue into a Zenith Blade from Leona. Combos really well. And of course the Morgana Shackles. Always terrifying. I'm thinking Solar Flare into Shackles is going to be their main damage linchpin, followed up by the bullet time. We'll see if they initiate with Cyclone. I know a lot of Wukongs love to initiate with Cyclone by getting the dash off early, and it gives the ability for the team to focus a lot more. Because Cyclone, you don't need to place that anywhere. You just run places with a Cyclone. That's what you do. And that means Morgana can probably get off an easy Dark Binding and initiate in a very safe environment for her Shackles. Millenarch following up with that could deny a Cyclone very well. If he throws out his Q, does the Shockwave as well. He can definitely misplace the Cyclone and potentially misplace Morgana as well if or Leona if she's in a sin if they jump in too quickly after the Cyclone. And I'll be very happy to see if she's able to pull that off. Zeke can make it a bit of a danger zone as well with his ultimate with that box. And of course Izzo can deny any kind of initiate entirely with his ult, or he can just completely mash the team together. How is Morgana's early clear for the jungle? Not too sure there, Corsetta. Not sure at all. If you guys know anything about Morgana jungle, let me know. Because, well, yeah, I don't. Pretty much. Far away from that. As we go into the loading screen, we will be right back. So just back again to remind you, this is the Company of Gamers Grand Finals for the Grinders Division, the lower tier division for 2013. I'm Snowy Padre. Apparently people Twitter. Yeah. Apparently people Twitter me at Snowy Padre, so that's kind of okay. everyone's around here encouraging people to tweet me, which is yeah, have fun with that. I'm totally gonna reply. Nah, I will. I'll reply later. A bit later in the day. Anyway, no ports going out just yet. Yay, nobody has to keybind. I'm happy. Let's get those junglers sorted out. Are we going to see that team in the mid lane? I think we are with the Wukong in top. Who knows? People can pull off some crazy stuff. Always excited to see what people do. I've got a few ideas, sort of, I'm getting a lot into team training and things like that, and I've got a lot of ideas swimming around my head as to what people could do to try and change the meta and focus instead of early levels, which, you know, the current meta, it focuses on getting the most resource from, the most leveling, the most gold out of your early game farm and advantage, but it doesn't take into account the ability for a team to roam or to take control of a map. So there are a lot of builds out there that can take care of that instead of focusing on that early, on the early resource gathering of the game. That is definitely a way to play it, though. Definitely, indeed. We do see that bot lane with the Doran's Blades again. Very, very nice way to go for the game at this point. A lot of people still love that in and the good old ranked system. Yep, stand it out for these supports.
Minions have spawned.
Spread out placement for both the teams, which is interesting considering they did both group up significantly last game. And it worked out very, very well for FHG at that point. Grey gone crazy. Bit of a rager. Hates that ground in particular. Just screw the blue buff. Losing his complete crap. Quick smiteless blue out for Jarv. Now switched over to Kiwi Fair. So it's Jarv in both the red for the first and the in the second game. This time on Kiwi. Wukong has actually transitioned to the mid lane. And it is Morgana in the jungle. Silly me. But Wukong is going to switch out with Teemo in the top lane. Teemo going to be denying those autos to Wolf there with his Q. And that gank already going down in the mid lane. Milanak trying to flash out of it. There goes the Ignite. And that last attack out from Morgana with her auto. Taking away that first blood. Going to be helping her out in the jungle. As you do with Jungle Morgana. But a great initial gank coming out from her. A great bind onto Milanak. Good follow-up from Wukong. And Ignite into an auto. Devastating. Kenyon is doing pretty well against Wolf. His sustain is starting to show. He's gone for that infinite sustain with the regen pin. Did a flash out from Grey. Is going to potentially net the escape. It certainly isn't. The death sentence from Zeke is putting a bit of hurt onto Snorlax, but it's not going to be enough. He's taken away that early kill against Draven. Again, Draven's trade has been severely reduced. Already FHG starting to take advantage of their very unconventional jungler and of their early AD dominance in the lane with Snorlax. Now that trade is reduced with Draven, you know, Misfortune's always been great at bursting down early with her double up. Renekton sustaining in that top lane so well against Teemo. Teemo has gone for that Doran's ring, so he is trying to get a bit pokey up against Wolf, and he's burned through all of his health pots. Wolf is thinking of going back, maybe getting a little bit of MR, but I think it is going to be that AP start out for Kenyon moving into AD. Matt is coming in and completely isolating with position. Look at that positioning going around the minions to make sure he actually misses the Q, preemptively thinking Volt is going to jump out of the way. It's not going to matter either way, as we see Wolf going down to another last auto. She's getting everyone in their lanes at the very tip of her auto attacks. Very lucky Morgana, in my opinion. Giving that kill over to Teemo. He grabbed that with a bit of a speed up and maybe a Q. Maybe a Q into an auto. But we saw that save try to go down from Ezo. He tried to get the Dragon Strike Demacian standard in front of anything coming out from Matt KM. But those were autos. Those were autos, people. Trying to jump on a Milanak. He does fake out the Q from Matt KM, who preemptively put down that soil. Gets the escape. Great reaction. And Vontel is actually forced to deceive away from those minions for fear of getting jumped on by them. He was looking very low, and those minions were eyeballing him pretty hard. Didn't find him, though. Too invisible for their tastes. No, indeed. It was full sustained mid lane going on for Vontel early. He's actually going for a brutalizer to start off with. Not picking up boots. He's looking at just using his deceive to get his speed, to get his escapes. Still works pretty well. But a deceive can be followed. When Wolf went back, he did pick himself up a Doran's Blade, so he's thinking of getting quite aggressive up against Kenyon once again. He did for that early dominance. I mean, that's what Wolf really has on Renekton. A lot of early damage dominance up against Teemo. Of course, the blind does deny him a couple of autos. Just a few. Vontel pushing that lane pretty hard. We'll see if he's thinking of roaming in the early game. Kenyon very content to just one-on-one these guys. Sorry, to just one-on-one Wolf. Double Doran's coming out from him actually when he went back into Boots. And it looks like Wolf is having a hard time dealing with that. He does have that regen pendant. He does have a little bit of regen with his culling. Outside of that, though, the range from Teemo is really giving him the edge. All lanes from FHG looking like they are getting completely and utterly taken over. A good gank coming out from Ezo. It looks like he's very, very familiar with the terrain on Jarvan as well. They're doing the exact same thing that FHG did to them, trying to feed off that support. And it is working out. We'll see if they're able to continue that trend. And we do know, Leona isn't all in. If Ezo is close enough, he'll be able to jump over a couple of walls and very, very quickly get to their aid. And potentially turn a good Zenith Blade into a very, very bad, naughty Zenith Blade. Very bad indeed. Dragon Strike nice and standard over to Dragon, saving Ezo from that engage. As the rest of FHG notice him in the jungle. Again, Matt KM sitting there on his Morgana jungle. Working out pretty damn well with 101 in the early game. Pushing going out from all lanes at this point. That is what cost FHG that first kill. They pushed up a bit too much in the bot lane, and Ezo took complete advantage of it. Vontel thinking of being sneaky up here against Mill, but he doesn't know the rest of Ezo is trying to get that jump on him. We did see the ultimate going out from Milenak displacing Vontel. He's not going to flash for it just yet. He's going to engage with his Cloud Strike, and his Deception saves him just by the skin of his teeth. Let's see if Matt can make use of... No, actually throwing the binding onto a minion. Faked out by Ezo. Good fake. Good fake indeed. Now that Matt is sitting at level 6. Didn't steal out the blue, so good guy, good by Matt. Leaving that blue for Ezo. For Ezo and Milenak. Loving that net. Anyway, Milenak focusing on getting out the Zhonya's pretty early. Maybe just wants that durability, I think, against Wukong. Not going to be focusing out the Zhonya's. But we saw a good example of how he can use his Shockwave, and Kenyon's going to be going down here to Wolf, finally getting the aggression he very much deserved. Teemo just being a Teemo. Everybody want to kill the Teemo. Little annoying fuzzy thing in the lane, poking everybody out, but yes, he got his revenge indeed. Certainly Doom Flipper, that is how you do it. He's gone, actually up at the top lane, Wolf has gone for a Negatron, so he's trying to deny a lot of the early damage from Teemo, who is actually focusing on the AP build. I was wondering if he got that early, the early Doran's Rings simply to be aggressive against Wolf, but he is going full AP. Draven, I believe, thinking of picking himself up an IE early in the game as over on Snorlax, a Brutalizer coming out early. Very effective poke, and we know how Brutalizer onto a Black Cleaver works so well for Misfortune. Stacking with her ultimate so well, and we know again that FHG are focused on those team fights and those team compositions. There is quite a lot of a heavy AD focus coming out from the FHG, and they've gone for a lot of armor shred as well. At least at this point in the game. And no, it's not going to be Morgana going on with a... Oh, Morgana actually coming into the lane here. See if she can grab off a Dark Binding. Does miss it. Barely in comes Ezo for the backup. Throwing out the Cataclysm onto TZ. Matt KM managed to get an ult off on Ezo and on Zeke. Completely isolating them and completely setting them up actually for a double kill for FHG. A great comeback from that anti-gank. Great positioning, good use of abilities. Snorlax actually jumping, I believe flashing, yes, flashing out of that Cataclysm, throwing out the ultimate as soon as Matt KM had gotten off the Soul Shackles. So well done indeed in terms of positioning for FHG, making the best of a bad situation when Eso jumped in there. Milinar going to be assaulted again by Vontel, though he is backing out, thinking that turret is just too much to deal with. And he certainly was right. A couple of more hits, he would have been down. Would have made it a 1-for-1, and he didn't want to go for that. Will still trying to get up and aggressive against Kenyon. And he does have that Negatron Cloak to support him. We'll see how last night goes. But as I was saying before anyway, Matt Game not going to be picking up the Aegis like he did before sitting on Jarvan. Instead, it is going to be the job for Lustenite, which works so well for a Leona kit. And Leona actually being forced to flash out here, throw out the ultimate as well. Is Gray going to ult? He doesn't have enough mana for it. He had his ult available, but no mana for it at all. By the way, best of 5 series for the Grinders Division Grand Finals, best of 5. Game 1 went to FHG if you are tuning in now. This is game 2 underway. FHG again starting to really push into lanes. 3k gold advantage to them, so it's not too bad. A good fake out from Vontel, really leading Milinar on. Good escape as Milinar is starting to trade pretty well with Vontel. In comes Ezo. He's got the Cataclysm available. Is he going to throw it out though? I think it's going to be a Shockwave. No, Milinar doesn't have a Shockwave up. She threw out a preemptive Shockwave before. It is still going to be a kill for KWF, for Kiwi Fear. Matt KM not able to follow up on it, so a very good gank out from Ezo, saving that Cataclysm for the last moment. I think it was a Cataclysm into a Shockwave. I do believe. Great comboing, equaling a death for Vontel in the mid lane. Lustenite going completely deep up against Kiwi Fear. Are we going to see support from Snorlax? Is Lustenite going to get out of this? No, he's trying to get a Shield of Daybreak off on Zeke. He did find it for just a second. And up at the top lane, another gank out from Matt KM, taking down Wolf, who's just doing so well against the Teemo. That's what's happening a lot, like it did in the last game. Very equal lanes, but it's the ganking that is really making the difference. These lanes are not stomps in terms of the champions going down entirely. It is a lot of it has come up to Matt KM. He's put off some really amazing ganks in this series so far. He does what all good gankers really should do. Instead of throwing out all your skills at the very beginning, waiting to cut off the path of the escapers. Oh, we're seeing the save from Zeke. A nice use of that Dark Passage. Well, we are actually seeing that engage. The ultimate went down from Lustenite. Didn't slow them enough to put them in Snorlax's ult. So those are both down. Maybe we're going to see some early aggression, some more aggression, sorry, from Kiwi Fear in the bot lane. They definitely have the advantage at this point with no ultimates on FHG. And in the mid lane, Matt KM refused to back off. Is he going to throw out the Soul Shackles? Not just yet, seeing as it is down, rather. Down goes the Cataclysm, not keeping Vontel in it as he flashes away to safety. Couple of engages, couple of disengages. That's all it really is with the rest of FHG coming into the mid lane. Bot has transitioned and they're looking for blood on this turret. Out goes a Willing Death ulti from Greywind. Nobody going to follow up on it just yet. That ult for Ezo is down. You can bet yeah, hell that he would have thrown that out if he had it. Top lane Teemo starting to shroom up everything, and he may be fighting himself a very unlucky Wolf, actually not throwing himself into the thick of that brush and not running into the mushroom, and actually missing that other mushroom as well. So good walking placement for Wolf, knowing where exactly Teemo places those shrooms. knowing how to maneuver around his lane. So he's doing well to maneuver around his lane. I was thinking Milanak was going to be up against Teemo. And Milanak has the ability to maneuver in the middle of the lane because of that Q going over minions. But no need. Wolf got this. 7-4 in the game. 2k gold advantage only to FHG. And there's that train potential for Kenyon with a mushroom. Kenyon with a mushroom. Apparently that hurts. It's a thing. Look it up. Bloodthirster coming out early for Greywin. Wasn't an Infinity Edge at all. He went for pure damage and hard hitting first. A little bit of speed coming out from Snorlax. Not focusing on damage outside of that Brutalizer. And yes, it was a Chalice coming out from Milanak instead of going for that early early Hourglass. Wouldn't have been a very good decision, and didn't go for it as well. Flash and Standstill from Ezo. That's a new one. I think he's DC'd. No, he's still there, and Teemo's completely destroyed him. That was fun. Lunch was had. The poor were fed. Flash in from Teemo, and there's the ultimate from Wolf getting that regen. Teemo diving into that turret. That was not fun for him. So either way, Wolf still picking up a kill, and that poison not picking him off at the very last second. A good ultimate down from Zeke. Sorry, a good ultimate down from Lusterknight, actually. Good from Zeke as well. Denied Matt getting in there, but still Snorlax's ultimate picking up that kill. Flash lag indeed. A great dark binding from MKM on Greywild underneath the turret. Gonna be able to follow up with a kill onto Snorlax, feeding the ADC, taking down the turret. Leaving it as it stands in the moment. They are getting aggressive. I believe they're going to take it. Yeah, it's gone. It's going down. It's dead. Bye, turret. See ya. More aggression in the mid lane. But yeah, would not want to be that turret right now. More pickups coming out from Teemo. He has gone for a Leandries and a third Doran's ring. So he's really banking up on those Doran's rings for early aggression. There's a good amount of sight from FHG on this as well. Are they going to initiate? Out goes the Whirling Death. They do still manage to pick up Dragon onto FHG, but a flash into a Kata is going to give Ezo another kill with Vontel trying to disrupt everyone. No, the Q does miss. Zeke nearly going down. Would have been destroyed if the Q out from Morgana, if the Dark Binding had managed to hit him just barely, but yes. FHG going to take away, again, a Dragon. Sneakily under the nose of Kiwi Fair, who did have good sight. Wolf doing well, at least to maintain this top lane for the time being. And his aggression and use of his ultimate still very good. Pause going out, maybe someone having a little bit of a DC. Not the comics. Yeah, let's just not go there. Wukong coming out with a Tiamat, thinking of picking up a Ravenous Hydra. Do love that kind of play. Don't see enough Hydra play as it is in normals and ranks. Bit more coming out in the LCS, but still underused. I know a lot of people that love that Fiora Tiamat, that Fiora Ravenous. Not a huge Fiora fan myself. I'm a bit of a... I'm where Sky is on that one. I really don't want to trust a Fiora with my life. Not even once. We are seeing Jarvan actually sitting there with a Sightstone, picking it up instead of Zeke at this point in the game. They may be hitting up double Sightstone, or it may be an early Aegis out for Zeke, looking for that early aggression when they do manage to team up. Ooh, Wolf Trade just not working. In comes Ezo, doesn't get the knock-up that he wanted as Teemo sped away. I swear to God, he eats something when he speeds up. Crazy kid. Crisis suit or something. And his mushroom's going to allow him to get super aggressive against that top lane again as well. Gray and Zeke moving into the jungle. What exactly are they up to? Maybe just looking for support. Vontel's trade against Milinak has been great this entire game. Top lane does go down to Teemo. So he has finally taken that objective. Izzo transitioning to mid. All of the outer turrets once again down on Kiwi Fair's side. A lot of tankiness coming out from Wolf into the late game. He is going to be that initiator outside of Izzo, so he's got himself a cowl. He's got himself... it looks like he's going to be picking himself up a Merc Treads. Maybe going Sunfire after that cowl. Although we'll see if he does transition early into... Whew! Losing my brain. Early into a Banshees. We got starting to work a little bit now. Just that tad. Athens finished off already for Milinak. Didn't want to focus on getting the Hourglass earlier in the game. Still wanting those other items before she transitions. But that could make or break the game at this point. Although she is staying far back. That's the beauty of having a Jarvan on your team. Not only is that combo really amazing on him with the Command Defend onto a Shockwave from Cataclysm, but it keeps the Orianna safe. It shows her where she needs to be and what she needs to be doing. Anti-warding out from Full House. Or Veil indeed, Robbie. We may see that Cal go into a Veil. Vontel and Lustenite thinking of jumping right into the fray. Happy to put a lot of aggression on this turret. I believe they did see the rest of Kiwi Fair in the top lane, so they know this is a free tower take. Out goes the box, securing Lustenite and Vontel underneath the turret. Lustenite now tanking everything out, but in comes Snorlax with the ulti, taking out Grey, and then managed to finish off Zeke as well, moving out with a double kill and no repercussions except for Izzo finding Lustenite in the jungle. Is Luster going to be able to get away? He tries a desperate attempt at getting a double flash coming out. Actually, Milinak trying to speed himself up to grab Vontel, and he might just find it. Izzo's actually going to try and pick off Snorlax, and he may just find that as well. Out goes the barrier, and yes, it was Orianna taking down Vontel in the bot lane, and Snorlax actually dueling with with Izzo with that barrier. That was intense, and Snorlax walking away with that kill. I thought it was going to start going a bit bad for Kiwi, for Full House, but they managed to pull away with it. With a 2 for 2, in comes Kaven to make that a 3 as Milinak takes the damage. Commander Finn gonna leave her living. And a bit of a snipe out from Draven picking off Snorlax. Nobody backing out of those situations. That was hilarious. I'm sorry, everybody was sitting there on no health trying to duel with everybody. Everybody duel with everybody. But yeah, didn't seem to work out for anyone staying in there that too long. Not at all. No. Ugh. That was awkward. Kidding. Very good positioning on both their parts, but still a little bit too far in. Both of these teams seem to be able to make the plays when it comes to knowing where enemies are and if they've stayed in. Could have been a burst on both teams. Anyway, coming out from both of them, we are seeing Kiwi Fair pick up a little bit more in this game. We'll see if that teamfight ultimate combo from Full House does pick up once again. They're still ahead by just that little bit. Just that little 10k. Yes, they are up by 10k, but that's mainly because of the turrets they've been able to secure as well as the farm from the jungle as they pushed up in the lane. So I think we could see that come back once again from Kiwi. They do have the champs for it. They do have the follow-up. A lot of it, I think, is on Vontel's initiate and Matt KM's follow-up. I know Lustenite is there with his Sunflare as well. Solar Flare. But a lot more damage, a lot more CC, a lot more control on Matt KM and Vontel at this point. A good Zenith Blade following Wolf over the wall as he flashes. Does get a good slice and dice over the wall though as well. Gonna protect him very close. Indeed. Gonna be another dragon going again to at full house gaming. I believe they've picked up 2 in this game now. With that going down, a bit of sight coming out from Ezo. Not able to do anything about it. Unless they want to pick up a stray Vontel. No, they are backing out of this situation entirely. Maybe a bit of teaming up, maybe a bit of mid pushing could give Kiwi Fair a turret. Right now they're not focusing on that. They're focusing on trying to keep their lanes pushed. In goes a flash cataclysm from Izzo. Very audacious indeed. Kenyon just flashing out of there, but a really great hook from Zeke is going to secure them a kill on Kenyon. He just got a little bit too close to that Thresh, thinking he wasn't dangerous, but it's going to be a kill from Kenyon as well, with a follow-up ultimate from Snorlax and a bit of a backdoor from Vontel in that fight as well. That's what Kenyon was up to, baiting them, keeping them close, just for the rest of his team to come in and back him up. Seemed to work out, 1 for 3, that's what you want, and the rest is history. Full House going to move in, take this turret, take this inhibitor, probably looking at Baron at this point. They like securing their victories, they like playing seriously, and it's something we like to see. They're not trying to full CLG EU plays us here. They're just being careful, they're just securing their victory, that's all guys. As the rest of Kiwi Fair do come back up. But yeah, that initial kill as he went in on Ezo, sorry, his teammate went on Ezo, the poison picking him up just at the end of that engage was pretty intense. But Zeke is making some pretty hefty grabs at this point. If he can get a couple more of those grabs off, might just make it. In goes Full House trying to secure their victory again. Instead of going for Baron, they're just denying everything in the jungle to Kiwi. Pushing up the lanes, taking control that way. It's not all about the main objectives in Baron and Dragon. It's a lot about pushing up those lanes and farming up that jungle. It denies a lot of that farm as well as farming up yourself. And in goes Wolf, thinking he can get a bit of a slip up and a stun off. But no, the rest of the team from Full House Gaming going to come in an ultimate team fight. Everybody last night is going to go down to that great lock-in from Ezo. Are we going to see a follow-up from Milanark? We may just. Picking up Lustenite going for Vontel. He does manage to find Vontel finally when Lustenite went for that initial, went down on that initial Cataclysm on Ezo underneath the turret. Was pretty intense. Managed to follow up, so it was a 3 for 2 in the end. Wolf getting a bit deep on that last engage. Milanark getting a bit deep on protecting that turret as well. Snorlax dealing a lot of damage at this point. But that Ezo coming out from Snorlax, that ultimate coming out from Snorlax, followed up by Lustenite Solar Flare, and then into a Soul Shackles, really gave them a strong initiate. Vonto followed up nicely as well, though a bit later. And Kenya's going to be sitting here poking up this turret. Everybody hates the Teemo. Gotta tell you, he's been very frustrating in lane this game. Indeed, just poking out damn at this point. Izzo not happy. He's not going to be... actually, Kenyon getting away from that death sentence. If Zeke catches him with a death sentence, well, Kenyon knows he'd be in trouble. He was before, but he did have the team back up. Oh, everybody's loving this Teemo. I'm loving this. Normally we get the Teemo hate. Well, here we go. Everybody in the chat is actually falling in love with this Teemo. So Kenyon, you got a couple of fans here who love your Teemo. Love them some Teemo. So cute and fuzzy. Just wants to kill you and hug you. in all the right places. Anyway, we are seeing a Sunfire focused out from Wolf here. There's a little bit of AD dominance coming out from Full House, but I think right now a lot of their strength is on AP with the initiates. That ult from last night from Matt, coming in from Matt Cam as well, and Kenyon is shredding people with this AP shred as well. Morello's tome picked up itself on Simo as well. So it looks like he wants to deny Wolf the ability to sustain, which is very, very understandable. You know, Wolf has taken him out under the turret a number of times just by popping his ulti, just by grabbing that Fury of the Sands. Out goes the Solar Flare, and a great Dark Binding. In goes a Flash ulti from Matt KM, and the rest is history. Down goes Kiwi Fair. Gray is left wondering where his team has gone, because he's sitting in the Summoner Circle. Good fun. Game number 2 taken away by Full House, gaming this game a lot closer than the first. A great amount of laning phase coming out from Kiwi Fair. Great picks to try and counteract Full House. We're going to move on to game number 3. If they do manage to take this out, yeah, bye-bye Draven. You wanted to party for that little bit moment longer, but no, not going to happen. Anyway, game number 3 coming up now. Don't go away. If Full House take this away, they get themselves the 5 Baron keyrings. They get themselves the CoG certificates going into showing they've managed to withstand the Company of Gamers Grinders division for 2013. Can they do it in one more game? We'll see how it goes. See you guys in about 10-15 minutes, so stay tuned.